Hey guys, it's Anna, and today I'm in eCLASS, and I'm going to show you the basic way that we are going to provide content to students for digital learning. So I'm in my eCLASS page. The first thing I want to do is go to content, this green book right here. We would like for you to have the content that you're teaching your students, the assignments, the handouts, the videos that they're going to watch, organized into content. You can create modules, which is basically a folder to organize that content however you'd like, whether you do it by week usually, or whether you call it by a unit number or by topic. However you like to organize that is fine, but you're going to organize it into some sort of modules. Remember, that's a folder. To create a module, you're going to go underneath table of contents all the way down to the bottom. And there's a box that says add a module. When you click there, it becomes editable text. Can't type. And all you do is hit enter on your keyboard when you're done typing, and it creates that module for you. So that's how you're going to organize your content for students. So I've got a module already created here with one activity in it. And I wanted to show you that as you're building things in eCLASS, as you're building assignments, which used to be called Dropbox, quizzes, and discussions, you can actually put all that related material into the module so that students have everything in one place all together, and they don't have to click around in different places in eCLASS to find it. So let's say, along with this student survey, I also want to include an assignment, a quiz, and a discussion. I'm going to show you how to do that. So from here, I'm going to go to existing activities, and I'm going to choose assignments. Select whatever assignment that you want to do. And just that quickly, I've added that history paper Dropbox assignment into the content section of eCLASS. So I'm going to go back here and show you how to add the others. So I can also do existing activities and add a discussion. I'll choose which discussion I want and which topic, and it adds it in line there. Existing activities, let's do a quiz. And it's added it there so that you're collecting all those different parts of your lesson from different areas of eCLASS into one organized place for students to find, and they'll know when they've done everything here and they've got check marks down the side, they will know that they have completed Unit 1 for you. So it's pretty quick as you build different things in eCLASS to use existing activities to add them back. Now from there, I want to show you how you're going to show them what to do each day. So I'm going to click back on the name of my course to go back to the front page. We briefly talked about earlier in a meeting that we're going to be using the announcements tool, and I'm going to show you how that's going to work. The idea here is that we want the announcements to be the very first thing a student or parent sees when they log into your class. And so at the top, it's going to tell them exactly what they need to know for the day. So we're going to have an announcement with a very brief bulleted list of what they're going to do today, the different activities. So because I've never made an announcement, I have a link here that says create an announcement. Once I've made one, that won't be there. So let me show you the regular way to make an announcement. Where it says announcements here, that's the name of the tool. This drop down lets me access options for the tool. So I'm going to do new announcement. I'm going to give it a title. Since this is the first thing they're seeing for the day, you may want to put in the date in that title. I'm going to write welcome back. And then down here is going to be the content of what they're going to see underneath the title. We want to keep it very brief. A sentence, a line, and then some bulleted points. So I'm just going to write welcome back to an unprecedented school year. I can't wait to start working with you here are your tasks for today. One line, something quick. All right, not a long paragraph. You can get into that in your Zoom meeting or in a pre-recorded lesson. Just a really quick little sentence. All right, bulleted point right here. There's bullets. And I'm going to list what I want them to do. Sign into my Zoom meeting. I want them to complete the student survey and take the French quiz. Notice too that my activity and content was called student survey. My quiz and the quizzes tool was called French quiz. I want to use the same wording all the time so they know exactly what I mean, that it's not called student survey in one place and student poll in another place, or French quiz in one place and quiz about French in another place. So make sure you're using the same wording just to make everything crystal clear. This is as brief as I want the announcement to be, something really quick. All right, now what I'm going to show you is how to link each of those to the parts that the students need to complete. First, I've got a Zoom meeting here. So I've gone ahead in another tab and logged into Zoom. This is a list of my upcoming meetings, and this is my first period meeting, which recurs every day. You can see these are different days. So I'm going to click into one of those, the first one, although the link is the same on all of them since that's a recurring meeting. Here's the link to my Zoom meeting. I'm going to right-click it and copy link address. So that was right-click. Copy link address. I'm going to come back to eCLASS. I'm going to select Zoom meeting, highlight it with your mouse, click and drag, and then use this link button. In most programs, when you click a link button, it's just one place that you paste in a link and click save or OK or insert. eCLASS gives you some more choices, so it's actually 2 steps. So I'm going to scroll down and find URL, that's a website. And then I have a place to paste that link. I'm going to paste the link in, click insert, and there's my link. Next, I want them to complete the student survey. You remember that was in content. So I'm going to highlight student survey, click that link button again, and this time instead of choosing URL, I'm going to choose content because that's where it lives. And it was under Unit 1, Getting to Know You. And there's student survey. And finally, a French quiz. So I'm going to select the quiz, French quiz, click link. This time I'm going to go down to quizzes, and I'm going to find that French quiz. And so I've finished writing my announcement. I also want to show you down at the bottom here, availability. This is important. So first you have start date. That's the first date students are going to see this announcement. So because it doesn't have to be right now, immediate, you can go ahead and preload your announcements for a week or 2 weeks or a month, however long you want, and do that work ahead of time as long as you change the start date so they won't see it until that date. So this says start date 8/7. This is my information for the 12th. So I'm going to actually change the date here to August 12th. And I don't want it to be available at 3 p.m. on August 12th. I want it to be available first thing in the morning. Let's say this is my first period class, so I probably want it to be available at 7. And then I also want you to pay attention to the end date. We don't want to have too many announcements cluttering up the front page. So think about what you want the end date to be. You can set an end date right now when you create it so that it automatically disappears in a day or 2 days or 3 days or a week. Or you can decide to come back manually later and have it removed based on an end date. So I'm going to go ahead and set an end date for this. The 12th is a Wednesday. Let's say we'll let them continue to see that information through Friday. So let's make it end on Saturday. That'll disappear. All right, so I've set my availability, my end date. You do have some additional options down here if you wanted to add more to your announcement, but I'm just going to keep it simple and click publish. And you'll notice if I go back to my front page, that announcement actually doesn't show yet because remember, I made the start date August 12th, so it will not show up until August 12th. If you want to go and look at the announcements that you've made or make changes, you can click on the word announcements here, and it will show you all the announcements you've made. If you set an announcement and you decided later you want to manually make it disappear, or if you need to make changes to it, you'll go next to the name, click the drop down and do edit, and that'll bring you back to that screen we were just in. So let's say I'm going to change my start date to right now so that you can see how it's going to look. And I'll go back in, and there will be the announcement with the working links. So anytime you need to make an edit on an announcement, you can click the drop down and choose edit, or you can click the word announcements and go into the announcements tool to make changes. You can also go into the announcements tool and delete announcements if you would like. So to delete one, you're going to check the box next to it. Maybe, there we go. And then click delete up at the top. Keep in mind that if you delete an announcement, it will not be available to you to use later. So if you may want to reuse the announcements, maybe your structure is going to be very similar the next time you teach this class, and you'll just change the dates, or, add, subtract a few things. You could go ahead and just expire the announcement. See how this one is expired? By setting an end date, and then you'll have it in your eClass to use again, even though students won't be able to see it. So if I go in, let's say I decided I'm done with this announcement, I'm going to go in and edit it. I could go ahead and make the end date right now. And then when I go back to my announcements tool, it will show expired. I do want to caution you against using the X on the front page to make announcements disappear, and I'm going to show you why. I'm going to go ahead and make this available. If I go in now to my front page, you'll see that each announcement does have a little X in the corner. However, when you click the X, it doesn't actually get rid of that announcement for anyone but you. That dismisses it for the individual person who's clicking X. So your students can click X also, like I've already seen this and done all this and I don't need to look at it anymore. They can click X to dismiss it, but it will still be available for other students to see and for you to see. And when you click the X, students will still be able to see that. So we want to keep that area kind of clean and not bump everything way down the page. So I hope this has been a not too long tutorial for you, showing you the basic structure of how we're going to structure our instruction digitally in eClass. Please let me know if you have any questions or if I can help. Thanks.